Is it?
Okay, well.
Key camera, we're on.
Kick off
now.
So, I'm hoping.
Okay.
We'll make sure we do everything. Right. Welcome to AGM. I suppose you do it a year that was, so I bought cheat sheet anyway, because a lot's happened this year at the club. I actually can't remember how long ago I joined, but it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. So, in no particular order, we now have some official people who know how to fly, so we've got some A-certs. So congratulations. Those people we've got. So despite that, we're a really safe club. I don't think we've had any injuries reported this year, except for a few self-harm incidents from turning props on when they shouldn't have done.
Yes.
That's what to me though, it's become a more sociable place. When I started in this club, I would fly and never see anyone. And I think for the first year I flew with 2 other people. But nowadays, maybe that's I'm coming less often and coming during the weekends in particular with the SWEF Fest that have been running each month. It's been, every time here there's a lot more people around. I'm sure the clubhouse has got a big thing to do with it. And also we've increased our membership numbers a little bit this year as well, so we're now 60.
Yeah, 60, right?
Yeah, which we peaked a little bit in the summer. I think it's gone quieter again for the last few times I've come, but the weather this year hasn't been a great one for helping that one. But overall, I think the clubhouse has made a big difference. Hey, indoor AGM. Although I was expecting it to rain and it to be more necessary today. I hope that's why I bought something to fly. It doesn't look like anyone else did.
No, I think, am I right in saying, John, that it's never rained on the AGM, is that right?
It never has done. Never has done. We've always held it outside. We've had the papers blowing away like today, but it's always been mild, strangely enough. Now we've got a cabin. It's one of those days that it's going to rain. So here you go.
Yeah, we put
Perhaps they were waiting for this very day.
we put the tent up last year thinking it was as well.
It was very windy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this. So, what else has happened? Oh, the runway's got bigger as well.
Yeah, quite a bit actually, yeah.
So a little bit more work for the mowers, so thank you to all of those for your help. I think it's been a fairly easy year for the club, although I admit that that's mainly because Paul's done most of the running with it. So thank you to Paul for doing that. Thank you Jamie as well for making sure we don't get in the red even after spending all the money on the clubhouse.
And the Bentley.
It's my boss's. I borrowed it for the weekend. I wish it was mine. That'd be nice. Yeah, and so I think it's run really pretty smooth. Generally, the SWEF Fests have been not always the best weather.
No.
So attendance a bit poor. This year we've gone from running 1 to 6.
Yeah, we've done 5 so far. There's an opportunity to do another one in November if we want to do it. That's one of the things I thought. October, sorry. There's an opportunity to do one in October if we want to.
Keep you all warm in the clubhouse every night.
Well, the weather, Stu. The weather, if it's going to be good, we can.
Yeah.
We'll try squeezing out right now. It's windy for that last one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the problem is that we really need to be giving the farmer a couple of weeks' notice, which is hard to do with the weather.
Yeah.
Surely you could give it to
He
him.
just likes to know that we're up here so he can make a note of it.
Because we can't really, we weren't really know until a few days before.
No, I mean I can have a chat to him and see if he's happy for the last one of the year for us just to do a random one.
Why don't we pick a date in November?
November
Fingers
5th.
crossed for the weather.
October, sorry.
October.
Okay,
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could still notify him of a date, subject to weather conditions, could you?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
at least you'll know that.
Yeah.
And just confirm it.
I can basically give him
It's
3 weekends
yeah,
and say one of these weekends expect us to be here. Yeah,
And
he's
let him
happy to
know
let
it's
us do
fine,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he'd be
that's the
happy
first
for us to be on the
reaction.
land at the moment, being what happened last week.
Yeah.
He'd be happy for people to be around.
What did happen last week?
There was people hair coursing across the fields basically, without permission, as the usual. So
And he had it about a year ago where there was quite a bit of damage from
he did,
people on the
yeah,
land as
yeah.
well.
Luckily, he's got the props out this year before they've been on. So last year they did quite a bit of damage to the props. But he said if we are here and we do see him, don't approach them because they're not nice. He said if we see him and they're here, give him a ring. He'll go and speak to them. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. In the drum that they shot.
Right. So I think for you was, I mean, I guess it's thanks to everyone for the membership as well as the committee as well.
I think it's been really good, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people have been helping out this year, doing of stuff. Building this, you know, just general upkeep. David's getting more involved in the mowing. Thanks very much, David.
I did it yesterday.
There you go.
It's looking very nice, actually. Hopefully with the weather turning, it won't be a huge amount more than needed this year. Just keep it a little bit under control. And at some point it will start getting wetter and we'll have to start closing the car park as well.
Yeah,
But normally
usually done by now, but yeah.
yeah, we've been lucky so far. Normally sometime around October. Oops, we get.
Oh, I told you that.
It's been coming.
It didn't break.
Didn't break. So.
Is it worth talking about, well, I'm not quite sure whether you want to, but the membership fees? Is it worth talking about that?
Yeah.
So,
I won't swing round now.
I'm starting on this next year.
oh, okay.
That's all right. No, yes. I think that was everything for this year. So, yeah. I think I've covered everything.
Something was on the seat, it's all my arse, it's gone bloody sticker, I don't know what it is.
We got this on camera.
James, do you know anything about that?
Oh yeah, we've got warts and all on it.
Who was sleeping in your last SWEF Fest?
It was sap out of the heat probably.
It's probably the sap.
Your bed, like.
It's probably the sap that's been dripping like in the hot in the weather.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to hang with the seat on my arse. It's all sticky.
There was tree sap
Yeah.
coming out of the wood in the heat, so that's probably what it is.
So they're only
Everyone check.
Levi's.
Let James smell it, he'll tell you.
I haven't seen James on his own in here recently, so you know.
That's Keith's last on his own, I think.
Lick it. See what it.
Taste it, yeah.
I'm going to sit in my car around, that's what I'm worried about.
It's all on camera anyway.
It's all on camera.
It's the highlight of it. Right, next year. So I think we're planning building on this one. We're now going to be direct debits for the payments, so that should make life easy, same as BMFA. So no one should forget. One thing for next year, this is a little reminder for this year, we did have one or two pissed off neighbours claiming that we were flying over villages, etc. Which I have not witnessed. I know that we do sometimes go quite far over the farmer's boundary, etc. But just a reminder for not to irritate them. I know someone's a bit noisy. That's not a problem, I don't think. We're Electric Club, we stick to those rules. And considering it's a farm, there's always going to be a bit of noise. But let's just try and keep the neighbours happy. And then hopefully, as we build up our reserve in our fees again next year, one of the things we want to do is look for a proper place to put the lawn on. And the intention to do that is, once we've built up a little bit of a buffer again, to look for a container or something, so we don't have to bring it into the clubhouse, and get rid of the caravan as well.
Coming in through the door.
Yeah, I think
The farmer's been replaced
I think the farmers are quite keen to get rid of it.
Really? Does he care?
Well, I think he thinks
He's
it's-
clearing all the hedgerows out and
Yeah.
they get a grant for putting proper hedges back in now as opposed to trees. So he would like it done.
Yeah.
It's of no use to us or anybody.
Well, how we got this?
Dumping stuff.
Get this.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's used as a dumping place.
Yeah, we don't normally use this as a dumping.
No, so we've got this to use as a clubhouse. If we can get a container or something like that to put the mower, etc., we can use that as a storing of barbecues, etc., for when we're not in use. Because this also, it's a really nice clubhouse, but you can break into it in about 30 seconds. So if we start storing stuff in it, we're going to attract the wrong person to come along and just opportunistically go, ooh. So we'd like to try and keep that away from it. The lawnmower in it for the moment obviously makes life a lot easier, but in the long term we'll start risking having to replace a lawnmower and damage to this place fixed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hopefully we're out of the way reasonably enough. But we'll keep it going for a little while. So, next year, fees. We talked about this a lot in the committee, and we realised that the fees have never gone up since the club existed. So, rate of inflation, we're about half price now.
Well, the first year was £30 because we only had part of the year. Then we did the 50 insurance, remained at 50 ever since then.
What year was the first year, John? What year?
So, well, we originally started around about 2003,
Right.
and it was 2005, I think, before we finally got established. But anyway, because it was only a part year, it was £30 for the first year and 50 afterwards. And sure enough, it's remained then ever since we.
That's a long time.
Ever since.
Yeah. So with compound interest, it's getting really quite cheap, which is nice. It's attract members. What we did to do, with some of the costs going up as well, is to change that, not for the coming year, but for the one after. So for the renewals coming up now, we'll stick it as it is.
50
Yeah. And then for the following year, we intend to put it up by £10. So I hope that's it's still a £5 a month. It's which for the value we get out of the club, hopefully with the number of members, I think that's great. If it was smaller members, we'd have a financial problem.
It's nothing for the facility we've got here. Like in today's world, it's so little, isn't it, to have a field like this? You can come any time and make noise.
It's £1 a week, isn't it?
It's
What else can you do for £1 a week?
Right,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, so, I mean, the other thing is the farmer has said that he hopes the business...
Well, he's also not put the rent up, and we have a risk of the rent.
We did talk about preemptively offering him more, simply because we're doing that to keep the relationship good, but that didn't...
Well, Paul spoke to him and he said he's not going to put it up for next year, which will keep the fee the same.
Okay.
But we're going to have a chat with him about numbers, the size of the club and everything, and now we've got the clubhouse up, it's attracting the interest. So hopefully with taking the preemptive strike with the extra tenner, we can...
Yeah, can I just say a word about the rent that we pay to the farm? It's pretty low level. We've been very lucky right from the start, actually. And we pretty much, we originally started out as 500, but we had to pay £80 for track maintenance, which I thought was a little bit unfair, but anyway, we do use the track. And once the old boy died, his wife put it up to 600, rounded up to 600. It's been 600 ever since. Now that's very, very favourable compared to what some of the other clubs in the area charge. Yeah, so I okay, remain frozen for next year and go up to 60 if that's necessary. Fine, I have no objection with that. But I think if you're going to think to the future and the rent goes up, the fees have got to go up in accordance with the rent.
Yeah.
So
say you take an average membership of £50, for every £100 the rent goes up, the membership fee goes up by £2. And on a
So what we're expecting was to end up paying the farmer a basic percentage of the income for the year. So it's based on number of members they get a partial income. So it was only because, luckily with Paul Talkster, they
I was down there and I saw him.
Yeah, they said they won't do it for next year, which is why I said, okay, so we won't do that. There is a risk that we end up paying a much higher percentage of what we bring in.
Well, suppose it remains at 50 members, £10 each for members, another £500. £500 over 600 is way in excess of what he would ask anyway, so the club would still be in pocket. And I think you should make that a firm proposal, remain frozen for next year, go up to £60 a year after that, and then in proportion to whatever the rent rises.
But I mean, as I said before, we all pay 60 quid when we first join anyway, because you pay the £10 admin fee, just leave it at 60 quid.
Well, for what we've got, it's peanuts, quite frankly. Lots of people don't see it that way. They go,
I've been a member of other clubs, paid 3 times this, and had to pay every time I go.
You can fly all the time here as well. There's no restrictions, is there?
Yeah, no, £3,000.
I think it's a good selling point for the club to keep the fees down.
I didn't recognise you first.
And it's a £100 membership.
Yeah. So I've known memberships to be well over 100 quid, and also to pay to play as well on top of that. So every time you turn up, you have to pay. It's normally not much, like £2, but that. We're paying less than a week, so
doing pretty well at the moment.
For some of the more active members, then that could really start totting up. And I think actually just a flat rate, for me it's nice to know. I remember the club.
There you go, John, it's raining.
I'll shut that window there. So it was good trying to have a meeting in here. After all, it's been christened.
Can I make another suggestion? Which we only in recent years have we had a joining fee and only £10. Most clubs it's way in excess of this. So if the rent does go up too much, we could then start recouping some of that back by reintroducing a joining fee. It doesn't have to be very much.
Well, just we extend the joining fee still the £10 extra for next year anyway when we put it up.
Yeah, but after that you could possibly make it
Something
20
to
or
think
even
about,
30.
sure. Yeah.
Just a nominal figure, that's all. If the club's good and popular, we've got a good site here, we've got a cabin. If we have it eventually, the cooker from there in here, hooked up to the Caligas, you've got means to boil water and things like that. There's all sorts of attractions. So I think a joining fee wouldn't put people off joining the club.
I don't think it's put anyone off, has it?
No.
I don't,
Well,
when I joined all those years ago, I thought, actually, that's really cheap.
Yeah. Nobody would have checked out how much it is at all, really.
So I've met some of the members, and I've had some new members and contact me and ask about joining the club. The only reason I've ever had anyone turn it down is it's too far away.
Yeah.
And we've had a few people who joined and then got busy and didn't come for a few months and then started reappearing again. I don't think, Paul, you've encountered more than I have. We have anyone who sort of came along and went, nah, not for me?
There's been quite
because of the
there's
money?
been quite a few that come in the week I didn't know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
If you
I
just
don't know
pop
his
up
name,
here,
a guy like
if you just
ZZ
pop
Top.
up people here,
The guy from ZZ Top?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
this
mean,
old
the
guy,
only-
he looked exactly like ZZ Top. Came with it, the back
The only thing I would say is I have seen, because once you get like to May or June, we do partial membership. I have seen some people like, oh well, I'll wait until October then. They don't want more.
Really?
Yeah.
The secret of
A few,
okay.
not a lot, but a few.
James.
I want to fly when the weather's good.
Thank
Right.
And God knows what.
Okay.
Actually, one thing I did say is that because it's members, we've got about a third of us here. It'd be nice to have more, but actually, that's not bad from some of the things I do. And we've got a few apologies from a few of the more active ones as well.
Yeah. Steve can't make it.
Yeah.
Clive
was ill this morning.
apologies, couldn't make it.
Bill.
Keith's not well yet.
Yeah. So I think it's a fairly active group actually for me this time. It's not a huge one, but I quite like that.
Yeah.
Right, so fees sorted out.
Can we mention BMFA fees, that you've got to be a member
Yes.
of BMFA?
Oh,
Is
yes.
that on the list?
No, that's a good one.
Because I think we did have a few, didn't we, that were late joining the BMFA. Is that right?
I haven't actually been able to get any further info, but yeah, I think there's 3 or 4 people
Does it
who
cross? You
didn't renew.
can presumably cross-reference members against BMFA membership.
You can go to as long as we've got your, we've got your name, we've got
Yeah.
your BMFA number, we can go onto the BMFA website and you can check those things and it comes back and tells you whether they're registered or not.
Yeah, yeah.
But if the person got a new number for whatever reason, we wouldn't know that. So it's possible that they are registered.
So we have been
BMFA,
chasing
we just
up.
don't know.
Yeah,
You
we have been trying to chase people up to make sure they do them. There's still a couple that haven't confirmed. I don't think are here today.
There's 3 or 4.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is a good reminder for next year. And if you've all done it, BMFA's on now direct debit as well. So,
But we do have to do our own because the club doesn't do it for you.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
But last year they didn't have direct debit up and running, but
They're
they
supposed to
said
this
they
year,
would
aren't they?
this year,
Yeah.
yeah. So once you've done that again, it should just come out every year. You
Yeah.
shouldn't have to do anything.
So that's another thing about not getting us in trouble. Keep yourself insured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the clubhouse.
We are, yeah,
Insurance.
exactly. Now that we've got things that might need it.
Yeah.
It is insured, is it, under the BMFA this time?
Yeah, we get £10,000 buildings cover.
Right, so the mower being kept in here is actually insured then?
Technically,
Yes,
yes.
it
As far as I'm
is.
aware.
Yeah, we did go back and
Is
check. The other thing
is
is,
that considered adequate security then?
Well, it's a lock.
Yeah.
Who's to say it's not? I'm not saying it is, but who's to say it
Just to make
isn't?
sure that it is insured, because we
I don't think they state a type of lock, it just has to be a locked
just gotta be
enclosure.
locked.
And a secure building, that's good.
Yeah. But as we said already, as soon as we got enough funds to buy something to put it in,
Yeah.
with a more secure lock,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah.
yeah, and we looked at that. So containers are about 1,200 quid. There was a couple of options, maybe around £1,000. They're not cheap, but they will be pretty secure if we get something. So we just need to get ourselves a bit of a buffer, because we also said if we get problems like the lawnmower goes missing or breaks down, we need to have a little bit of reserve just in case.
I brought some more sleepers up for
oh, have you? Oh, awesome.
Oh, brilliant.
So there's enough to lay it and just drop
That'd
it
be
on
great
top
to
where
put
we
a
want.
container on.
And
It's
Yeah.
done.
The good thing is containers are easily available. Once we've got the money, we can get one within about a week. Get it
Yeah.
brought up here, and then we can use that. And I think it'd be nice to get that running over winter.
Does the mower need a service?
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
I
yes,
think
it does,
Yeah,
but I
for
mean,
sure.
I'm perfectly willing to go and do that, because why pay £200 for the place to go and do it?
Well, only because they strip it completely. Well, it's there, they'll have the carbs off, they strip everything out of the carbs, replace it with seals,
Well,
sort the jets if they need it.
I think, at the end of the day, Dave,
Belts.
if you're willing to do it, free of
Yeah.
charge,
I mean, it's got an oil leak at the moment that needs seeing to, so I mean, why are we going to spend £200-300 for them to go and do something that can be done here?
if you're,
It's not, I mean, I
just-
can rebuild a Porsche engine, so I can rebuild that.
okay.
Just keep your receipts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a couple paper in the expense.
I mean, Bill used to make.
We did it together. I downloaded the maintenance manual. I don't know who's got the maintenance manual.
I've got a
I
copy.
mean, I've
You can download them.
Well, there you go, I
All the parts and
downloaded that from the
everything.
internet and we did it from that. In fact, it's not as extensive as you might think.
No.
It's little more than a check over for leaks and an oil change. It hasn't even got a filter, that engine.
No.
Isn't it?
So, no.
No.
It's got
So-
block jets at the minute though.
I mean, I brought oil up for it as well, which is in
So
the caravan.
run on choke.
Because the oil was.
So
like,
it's
that's all.
it's a day's work, that's all. We used to take the deck off and I'd resharpen the blades
Right.
and they probably need replacing every 3. Well, they won't. If you're going to keep it down here, it was driving it up and down that track that used to turn the blades.
Really?
It's not good for it driving up and down that track.
No, if it's yeah, but if it's staying here, it's going over grass all the time.
Yeah.
So the blades will last a lot longer.
Okay. Right, where were we?
Oh, Keith did ask about us getting a